This is Coco. He's my leopard gecko and I've had him since November of 2024. He's roughly 1 year old now, and today we're going to find out what his favorite food is. I'll be feeding him 4 different insects, which is small mealworms, larger mealworms, crickets and also grasshoppers. And I can see here that he can already see them through the glass, and he definitely looks and behaves as if he's hungry. And as a baby, I actually mainly fed him the small mealworms as they were the only insect available to me that were actually small enough for him to eat. But as he's grown, he's gotten a larger appetite and a larger mouth as well, meaning he can now eat a variety of different insects. I'll be feeding him via tongs inside his own enclosure, and then we can assess how much he likes the food item based by the following factors. Attention, whether or not he looks at and maintains a look at the prey insect. Movement, whether or not he wants to move around his enclosure chasing the prey. Bite force, how he strikes at the food. Is it a full-on jump or just gently taking them from the tongs? And lastly, frequency of acceptance, how many with a maximum of 3, and if he wants to eat more of the same insect. I won't be dusting the insects with calcium this time, since Coco already has calcium stored in his body. You can see here those little armpit lumps that geckos have sometimes. They are actually calcium deposits, so for now I'll actually even go ahead and remove his calcium dish. And because I don't use UVB lighting in this enclosure, the calcium I give him needs to have vitamin D3. Without D3 vitamin, his body can't use the calcium properly, and that's how reptiles can develop metabolic bone disease. Now, without further ado, let's begin the feeding frenzy. The first insect I'll be feeding him is the small mealworms. These were also the ones I fed to him as a baby, and he really seemed to like them back then. But as time has passed, they are, from what I can tell, no longer his preference. You can actually see here that he has a worm ball in his enclosure where there's plenty of mealworms in already, but he doesn't seem to eat them. Nevertheless, let's see what he says to them now. And as I expected, he isn't even fazed by them at all. So there's no attention, there's no movement whatsoever as well, and he didn't accept any of the small mealworms. Therefore, I will score them as a 2 out of 10, solely on the basis that he will eat them out of necessity, and if it's the only thing I offer him. But he would actually rather wait a little bit longer for some food that he thinks is a lot better. Next is the larger mealworms, and he has actually already spotted them from the other side of the glass. He definitely looks hungrier now as opposed to when I tried feeding him the smaller mealworms. So let's try the first one, because he has actually already spotted it.
Huh?
Now we can try to see if he wants to chase it around and for how long he wants to chase it, because he is standing quite still at the moment, just observing it. So I'll try to just give this one to him, and he's taking it, so that's good, but he's not really going at it with force. Let's try and give him another one, and here he has actually already climbed a little, but again he's not really going all out for it, but he will happily take another though. And let's see if he wants to have the last one as well. Has he had enough for now? Oh no, now he sees it. And there he actually jumped at it. He looked very happy to eat them, and he spotted them quickly, and he maintained kind of an eye contact with them, you can say. But he didn't really go fully after them, but he did want to eat all 3 of them. So therefore I'll give the larger mealworms a 6 out of 10 on the score. Next up is the grasshoppers, and once again he's already spotted them. But this time I actually expect him to be a bit more willing to move around for them, because I've only ever fed him grasshoppers a few times, so this is actually still a relatively new food for him to eat.
Hello there.
So I missed.
And you can see here there's actually already a lot of movement going on, and I think he did jump at it a few times as well without catching it. And now I've actually managed to film him doing something that I've never seen him do before. Here he is trying to scratch his head, I think. I have checked his skin and there's no sign of stuck shit to him, and there's no kind of red marks or wounds from having mites as well. So I think this is a bit weird for him to do. I'm curious as to what makes his head itch. If you've got any ideas why, drop it in the comments and I'll check it out to see if that can maybe be why. Anyways, he then caught sight of the grasshoppers once again, and with the next one it was actually a little bit harder to get his attention away from the grasshoppers that were in the container. And so I didn't even get a chance to move it before he swung at it and grabbed it from the tongs. And he then proceeded to do some more head scratches before spotting the last grasshopper as well and lunging towards eating them. All in all, I give the grasshoppers a score of 9 out of 10 due to him wanting to eat all 3 dearly, and he did want to put some work into catching them, and he also did bite down pretty hard on them as well. And now last up is the crickets, and this is actually usually what I think is his favorite food. And you can actually see here straight away, he spots it and he goes right after it. And he actually does lunge after it with what I can tell to be more force than with the grasshoppers.
Get your fat ass back here.
And he is again very willing to climb onto his driftwood decorations here again. And here he is now, standing in his water dish and once again grabbing the prey with what I can tell to be quite good force. And he actually grabbed it before I could move it around as well. And now with the last cricket, once again he wanted to move around his enclosure and he went straight after it. So all in all, from what I can tell, crickets are still his favorite food, so I will rate them a perfect 10 out of 10. So this actually concludes the video, and these are now the final scores. Crickets were the ones he liked the most, with a 10 out of 10 score. Grasshoppers he also liked very much, and I rated them a 9 out of 10. The larger mealworms he wanted to eat as well. I gave them a 6 out of 10. And the small mealworms I gave a 2 out of 10, solely because he didn't actually want to eat them. So crickets are finally his favorite food. What do you think? Based on the video footage, what do you think his favorite food is? And if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Or else Coco will come and eat your toes while you're sleeping. Thanks for watching.